when you grow up in faith, when you grow up in the word, you kind of, but a lot of it is based on really what you were taught as a child.
Mm.
And
Yes.
so my family of origin, my dad was a pastor. And so my whole life, that's all I've ever known, right?
Mm.
Is the love for God,
Mhm.
the love for Jesus, just, and in that, it was so much, yes, we taught grace, but we very much had to kind of be in the right, like we didn't want to say you had to do works, but yet,
Mm.
yeah, you kind of do. And so,
Yeah.
that I would say really developed there is a right and there is a wrong. And, even the whole idea of choosing joy, it was kind of like, be happy.
Mm.
God loves you,
Wow.
just be happy. And I very
Yeah.
much,
More to it.
tried to live under that. But then I didn't even know how to connect to really any of the other emotions. And my joy
Mm.
was also like oftentimes a forced
Yeah.
Wow.
you better be happy. And
Yeah. Take it off the shelf, put it on. Yeah.
yeah, and then in my
Wow.
quiet moments is where I would experience that heavy sad. My dad died when I was only 25 years old, and that
Mm.
was the first big, big, big
Mm.
sorrow in my life. And it's kind of like you learn at such a young age that grief is huge, and
Mm.
it was
Yeah.
very confusing because it's like, yeah, be happy, he's in heaven. And I would be like trying to force that, okay, I'll
Mm.
be happy. And yet I
Wow.
missed my dad and I was sad and I
Mm.
cried a lot. And,
Mm.
and so it became confusing, as in, what do we do with
Yeah.
grief? What do we
Wow.
do with
Yes.
sad? And I would say I just shelved it because I was almost 50 years old. So 25 years later
Mm.
is when my mom then was diagnosed with cancer, and she was um, dying. And I got to that place again where I'm like, oh, I know what sad feels like. And
Mm.
I don't want to go there. It's horrible. The grief that I felt with my dad. And so I was just like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to
Wow.
feel sad. Well, then my body started shutting down. Glenn is doing all this research, and he's like, babe, you got to process this emotion. And I'm like, nope, I don't do emotion. You do emotion. I don't do emotion.
Mm.
And he was very gentle and very kind,
Mm.
but he was bringing home this research saying, actually, your brain fires sad and you're resisting your
Yes.
own body, your own emotion. And that's why
Mm.
you're not sleeping at night. That's why your body is beginning to shut down.
Mm.
And that was a huge, huge awakening for me. And once I started realizing the truth of emotion, it was such a freedom. Like,
Mm.
it was a difficult journey for sure. I went on a journey that took quite a while because
Yeah.
I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel these things. And it was interesting because
Like
I was,
learning Chinese,
yes, yes. And
right?
I was a business owner. So I had all these employees and very successful business at the time.
Mm.
And I dealt with a lot of fear, but I didn't know it.
Mm.
And there were so many emotions that I just never felt or touched, but they were
Mm.
affecting my body.
Oh.
And then once I started actually tuning in and learning, oh, that's fear, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision. No wonder I'm so stressed out.
Mm.
Like, I knew that word. I could have told you that every day. I am so stressed
Mm.
out. But stressed out is a result. It's a result of not knowing the emotion. It's a result of not finding it and processing it. So once I figured out, oh, this is fear,
Wow.
then I was able to start naming it and going, oh, well, of course I have, and so I started seeing patterns in my life,
Mm.
phone calls to clients that I would put off till the end of the day, but I would worry about it all day long. But I
Mhm.
didn't want to do the phone call because I was so,
Mm.
you know, paralyzed in my fear. I just didn't know it. And then once I was able to start saying it, I was able to go, wow, now I'm actually in a different place.
Mm.
And so I would make my calls in the morning before noon. And often the result was so much better than I could have ever imagined.
Mm.
as far as where it took me in my business.